25-year-old poker player who's got loaded.
So
That'd probably be a better video. If you click on it, now you come up.
So I think Sevs just needs to dial in.
Do we have anyone sort of interacting?
So
I'm lost.
he just needs to get his date sorted.
His
2
date.
seconds.
Yeah. Oh. $77. I'm here for 5 minutes. Hey, Jam. Josh's feet stink, and it's just like a slight smell that's annoying to your nostrils. Like it's even lingering. He's not even here. 277, they reckon. Let's have a look at that. Bear with me. 77. George Martin, yeah, boys. George Martin's on the YouTube, commented.
G'day, George. Looking forward to tomorrow. Let's have a... Yeah, it's all happening. Sevs, did the... You don't have to play another song.
Hey, team, what's the date today?
Today's the 6th of Feb.
6th?
Around the world, we're playing royalty-free music for the next 3 minutes. Here's a classic. This is uplifting. This is Safe Travels, uplifting, cool. Available at Artlist. That's art-list.io. Brought to you by Toyota. Oh, what are you feeling? Toyota.
So the 6th today? Yeah.
6th, yeah.
So Jem is watching.
Jem says no pay, no say.
She's here for 5 minutes, so we better get started. Are you ready, Mace?
Yeah, I'm good to go.
Can you see the comments coming in the consolidated feed?
Nah, it says error with Facebook. Something going on there.
I think it
Sorry,
would
with,
be...
no, with YouTube, actually.
So maybe have that open somewhere?
I've got both
Great.
YouTube and
Awesome.
Facebook.
All right.
Sick.
Get ready to clap when we say episode 600. Too noisy?
Oh, yeah, you don't want to make the baby cry.
Which one?
Yeah, if you don't clap, someone's going to cry. Either way.
One baby's going to cry. All right.
Okay, ready?
All right. Let's go. Episode 600.
Engaging core.
That's good.
Engaging sphincter.
What was it if it wasn't engaged before, mate? Open.
You thought my feet smelled. Not my feet. It's me sphincter.
All right.
Is sphincter just asshole?
You just eating. Are you eating shoes, socks? Anyway.
Bit of blue cheese.
Okay.
All right. All right.
Perfect.
You right, Mason?
He's just checking white balance.
He's a good kid, isn't he?
Yeah, he's good. Is the levels are good for you? Yep. Okay. Let's do this.
All right, let's go.
It's just like going to the moon. More computer gear though now.
Yeah,
More computing power.
yeah, more annoying.
You weren't on the moon landing, were you?
All right, roll the intro.
It's the Daily Talk Show, episode 600.
Mate, clap that one in. That's worth it. We made it to this day.
And I've already made Bodie cry, and Bodie's made me cry.
Yeah, I mean, you are nicknamed the dad.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually a dad move to make their kid cry by roaring back at them.
Yeah. Oh, I just had a moment as well of like, he's pretty gullible at this age. And so I've just started spinning absolute lies.
I know, but you do it so easily. That's the scary bit
if you think
about it.
the lies, it's like I spoke to an elephant.
Yeah, and then my
And
wife and Show Baker.
Who's in the building?
Alexander.
Welcome, Show Baker.
We have some treats which we'll explore a bit later on. They both got into the lies. They were like
They love it.
entertaining you.
Yeah.
Mason and I are over here
Or
just
was
going,
I entertaining them?
Yeah, I think you were entertaining them. It's not easy crowd, Josh.
Yeah, no, I get it. Well, we were trying to think of something to do while 97, our tech genius, was trying to get a live stream going. How's it gone?
Yeah, I think okay.
What are people saying in the comments?
Um,
Doesn't sound good.
Doha says rocking that skunk hat.
Yeah,
So,
thank you.
Yeah.
and
I'm wearing a
then
skunk hat if you...
that's exciting. I'm the only one watching on Facebook.
Yeah, something's definitely gone pear-shaped. But, you know, we've grown in 600 episodes.
Mhm.
We're making shit happen, aren't we?
Yeah.
Are we?
The funny
more
thing
of a
is
question.
it's like we know these things are coming.
Yeah.
It's like we haven't spoken about it on the show, but we just released our first video,
Yeah.
Open the Shop.
Well, that was only last night. And
Mhm.
so that came out after yesterday's episode, which is, awesome. Our new series, Open the Shop. If you're reading Mr. 97's caption, it was once a week, but it's
But did you-
actually,
wait,
he's changed
I
it.
fixed it.
Oh, you fixed it. But if you
Yeah.
got in early, Mr. 97 gave us more work by saying we
Yeah.
do one of these videos per week,
Yeah.
but it is once a month.
Yeah, once a month. And so this month we had the hilarious, the delightful, the sparkly
Yeah.
Mrs. White.
Amazing photographer. She did my wedding photos.
Did she bring glitter? Was there those elements? Were there sparkly sort of?
Nah. I mean, that's her shoots. I'm not sure if she's just throwing tinsel at
I would
a
have
wedding.
loved to seen you. I feel like you'd be more comfortable in tinsel now than what you were 2 years ago. Don't you think?
In tinsel.
Yeah.
Like, no, I like getting a good snap. And I know the colour adds to it. We got some really nice shots walking down the aisle and people throwing stuff out.
Like rice?
No. What? It was confetti.
Very
What's who
unwoke.
throws rice?
I know, if you don't want to ruin the environment.
Oh,
Confetti. Like
Well-
that's like one dolphin, two dolphins.
I mean,
It's like,
pick
wow,
your
wedding.
battles. Pick your battles, mate. There's
Wish the
always a
dolphins
bone to
could.
pick with anything that anyone does. We were at a wedding not long ago.
What was Amy saying, please? Sebs, what was Amy saying?
No.
Biodegradable. Oh,
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah. That's what we had.
It was just fruit scraps.
No, we went to a wedding and watching these kids. So it was a friend of mine, Steph, and she'd walked down the aisle and come back, and so the tinsel or whatever it is, the confetti had been. Oh no, it was rose petals or something had been dispersed of,
Mhm.
and then these little kids thought it was hilarious. She's got a full, beautiful wedding outfit on,
Yeah.
and her hair looking great. These kids got grass clippings from the ground and were throwing it at
It's a
her,
Gronk move.
thinking it's like, funny, but it got stuck in her hair,
Ah.
in her dress, and she was like trying to work out what the fuck was going on and why they were doing it. Kids.
Yeah, I mean, as a kid, I did many things like that. I remember throwing my first ever snowball at my cousin's boyfriend, and what I didn't realize was it was just a block of ice and cut his whole face open.
Dude, the worst bit is that happens a lot. I got piffed one at me by the guy who worked on the chairlift. Like he's the guy that lets people on,
Yeah.
and so he's meant to be helping people, and he's thrown one at me, and my nose just blood into the snow, just
Okay.
red blood all over everywhere. Anyway,
Yeah, snowballs, I reckon maybe overhyped in Hollywood in regards to how easy and effective they are.
Have you seen Elf?
Is that the one? I'm thinking of Bad Santa.
Elf's
no, I haven't
got
seen Elf.
Will Ferrell.
Will Ferrell.
the
He's
one?
like he's a real human,
Mm.
but he was brought up by elves.
Really bad CGI.
Yeah, but I almost think it's on purpose. It is so stupid because he then comes back down to earth,
Mhm.
but he throws snowballs and can do like a machine gun
Oh, that's
of snowballs, and it's like you learn that if you're an elf, and so
Did
he
you
can
ever-
throw snowballs.
Did you ever play tennis?
Yeah, play tennis.
Did you
Club
get
tennis.
the tennis, where you'll put the tennis balls in and they'll dunk,
Oh yeah.
dunk.
Nah, see that
Dunk.
was the machines that do that shit. So there's the tennis one and there's the bowling machine for cricket. Never got
Oh, yeah.
them. It was always like, oh, I wish I could do that stuff.
Mhm. Yeah, well, I just had one at my training. I'm just trying to think of the guy. The guy called me Maestro. The coach. Why was he calling me Maestro? What does that mean? Just
I
me.
don't know.
What does
Um,
Maestro mean? What's the definition of Maestro?
Yeah, I'm not
Like,
sure.
G'day, Maestro. And
You
I'm
are a maestro. Is
Oh,
it like
maestro.
like you are at a level within the thing you do, like your maestro level,
Yeah.
or a maestro is the singing.
Title of respect.
Oh, really? It seems like there was a bit of sarcasm going because I think
No,
I was
it
the
definitely
worst on the
was.
court. It's like, come on, Maestro.
It's like being.
What was it?
Sorry,
Like-
I feel like he's calling you maestro because you're the opposite.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah,
could
yeah.
be.
It's like
Sorry.
saying you're, hey boss,
Yeah, yeah.
everyone's chief. You're not. Yeah, it's not the thing. Mr. 97, we were on Jason PJ's podcast this morning.
Mm.
We were doing some filming in at the building at ARN where they have their show,
Mhm.
and they pulled us in. So nice. Got to do a quick little show in their studio. I mean, how times have changed. I used to try and get into that studio to do anything back in
I'm
the day when I
surprised
worked
that they,
there.
ARN, I know, just extremely not. Well, obviously the podcast. Let's move the podcast ranker aside. ARN aren't involved in that stuff. They are so lovely. Like
It's a
just
yeah.
walking around. Did you see me chatting to all the engineers?
Yeah.
Torsey, Will, like they were all just like letting me. Like I was
Yeah.
talking about NDI,
delivered a
SDI.
keynote.
I did a whole keynote, and by the end of it, they're all like, "Oh yeah, sounds good." Like we got I think his name was Jordan, gave us a tour. Like we were looking. They've got when you walk in, they've got all these racks of technology, and 97 and I was like from a distance, being like,
Mm.
"Oh, I think that's the Omnia." Vault, yeah,
Yeah.
that's owned by Telos Alliance. Yeah, they do. They also do the phone systems and a few other. Anyway, I think his name was Jordan. He comes up to us and goes, "Oh, you guys want to have a look inside?" And so he gets his key. And what I really appreciate is then someone from the content team's like, "Hey, we've just I think a computer's down over here." He's like, "Yeah, I'll be there in a second." And he's-
I know.
he
That
keeps-
was
it
great,
wasn't
wasn't
that-
it? Yeah.
I really appreciated
They
that.
were putting it on. There was
Well,
a
when you were delivering your keynote,
Mhm.
Tommy's like, "Oh yeah, can you go grab Josh? We got to go film this." And I walked in, and then Tommy went and sat down and started talking to everyone else.
Yeah,
So it was just like,
yeah, I know. That's it.
they were being double teamed by the Daily Talk Show.
But so we were on their podcast, and a young producer that works on Jason PJ came to the room, and I asked, "Are you single?"
Mhm.
And I always have to preface, I'm married. I'm not being a creep here. And my wife just
Or
creepily
an
winked
extra.
at me. Or what?
Huh?
Or what? An
Okay.
extra?
Or extra creepy, I think.
Oh,
is what I was
extra
gonna
creepy.
say.
No,
Yeah.
no. But I'm always looking
Why
out
is
for my
Amy
son.
winking? Is there some form of arrangement you
No,
guys have?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe she was just saying it's a
Or is
good
it a
thing that I was
black eye?
covering my ass, that I wasn't trying to be creepy. You can't, if you talk, I can't hear you, so it's okay.
We probably needed to get
Yeah,
a
we
mic,
can't
but
hear a
Sebs was trying to deal with getting a Facebook Live to my
No, we're all
personal
just-
Facebook page. That
Oh,
has-
that's what's happened.
that's
and
what
then
he's
it's
done.
been shared into the group. Yeah.
But is
Okay.
anyone in the group on it?
No.
Anyway, I asked, "Are you single?" Because I thought, how good would it be
Mhm.
if we had one of our gronks dating
Oh.
one of the gronks from Jason PJ?
Yeah, sure. I mean,
The
it's very forward. It seems a slight transactional.
What do you mean?
Well, I think that
That's Mr. 97.
No, don't you think it's a
There
little
you
bit
go.
arranged marriage? A little bit like,
What's wrong with that?
You'd be good for my boy.
What's
You
wrong
know,
with that?
I don't think you can do that anymore.
Yes, you can. As long as they say yes. Okay, I'll
Sure.
meet your boy, and if the boy's good for me.
When can you ask someone if they're single?
I mean, this is a couple of blokes talking about this. We have some ladies in the building.
One of which doesn't have a mic.
Which I think there's a different opinion maybe. But I always felt like if the intention's right, are you single? I wouldn't do it if I was single, trying to pick up a single person.
So when have you asked someone if they're single?
Well, whenever today, this morning, but just in the past, it's always like, I'll do it for a friend. I'll put myself out there to say, are you single? Like thinking about somebody else.
Were you a good wingman, do you think, growing up?
No,
No, that's a no.
nah, probably not. Probably not. But let's ask Alexandra, female's opinion. If you were asked, are you single, without understanding context yet, would it offend you?
No, it wouldn't. No, it wouldn't. I'd be like, no, yeah, I am single.
So there we go.
I am
No.
single.
I am single.
Wow, what a...
No, I think asking if somebody's single for somebody else is great because I've already done it.
Yeah.
And
sure.
so I did it on behalf of somebody, and then yeah, I think it's fine.
I think it's always good at the start of a party if someone is putting it on, just to make it known who the single people are, especially at things like a wedding. Oh no, that's what happened at the same wedding where my friend got that shit thrown
The
on
grass.
her. It was a great bit by the. I'm sure he's probably looked it up or seen it done somewhere else by the MC. Stand up if you're happily married. Stand, and by the time the only people left is it everyone stand up, sit down if you're married, sit down if blah blah blah. By the time the end, it's like 10 people standing. You say, look around the room. This is your options tonight, which was so good because it was like all the people single were standing. And it was like, you actually do, just as if they're not. They're like, ha, 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 just taking stock. That is my options.
50-50. Like they're pretty serious.
Yeah. They're laughing, but they're like, yeah.
Well,
no worries.
Sevs was saying how much he loved how open the Jason PJ team were.
Oh yeah, definitely. You could go chat to anyone. It was just everyone was so friendly.
He said, "Did you hear about Paris's nipples?"
Who said this?
97 did.
I mean, this is the person that I asked if you're single, and now you're talking about her goddamn nipples.
I know, but that's actually something that he said. And I said, "Yeah." She said that she got them pierced. He's like, "Yeah, how about that?" It's like he's like, "Oh yeah, but yeah, isn't it nice that the whole team can talk about it?" I'm like, "Did you just come up with this whole team morale convo as a way of just bringing up about
the nipples?
About the nipples?"
No, what actually happened?
Mace, can you turn off the couch mic just because Bodie's losing his mind?
Yeah, no
Mate,
worries.
don't you know it's episode 600? Sorry.
No, I was saying that the producing team has such a great culture that they can talk about piercing their nipples in front of each other.
Is that great culture? Or you just never had a job before?
No, but you know what I mean. Like you wouldn't. I mean, some teams wouldn't discuss that. Some
Would
people
you get a
wouldn't discuss
piercing
that.
for the show?
On my nipple?
I didn't say that, but that sounds fun. It
No,
sounds
wouldn't.
like
No,
you wouldn't.
No.
After leaning in.
No.
Would you get a piercing anywhere? Like if you had to, let's put it this way: you don't have an option. Not saying this is going to happen, but where would you get it if you wanted to aesthetically add to your
Or
great look?
non-aesthetic, maybe it's for feeling.
Oh. Where would I get one?
While you think about that, my friend said to me, "I pierced my dick." I said, "What?" And this is a friend of mine who has done a few things that I've been pretty surprised of that a human would do. But yeah, I was like, "Mate, show me." What do you mean you got it? Like he's like, "No, I pierced it. I did it myself."
Yeah, okay.
With anesthetic? What did he?
I don't know. I think it was just ice.
Well, he was on ice.
No, not on ice.
That would be something you do on ice, I reckon.
Maybe, but he pierced just the foreskin, so it wasn't. It wasn't.
I mean, I don't have a foreskin, but do you need them? You
okay.
clearly you don't.
Dude.
No, but is that where people normally get a
Piercing?
Piercing?
Well, I mean, don't search that, Mr. Nicevs.
No, but
yeah, you can.
I
But
think
you
that
can
people
get it on
where the
like
I
on
don't
the
know the-
actual peen.
yeah
like
on
near the cock eye.
yes.
Yeah, you can have that done, but it's also he's found something.
What do you
Oh,
Oh,
that's
Alexandra.
That's full on. That's on Wikipedia as well.
Oh, jeez.
Jeez,
Jeez, we've got
they take my Wikipedia down, but they leave out the bloody
Yeah,
cock
that's a-
ring.
So what
that's
have
a
you
nightmare.
learned?
What have I learned?
Yeah. Well, no, a cock ring isn't a cock ring the ring at the base
a
of
cock ring, like a ring. You can have a ring. You could have a stud or a ring on your penis.
Okay.
Call it a cock ring.
Anyway, before you tell us that, says where would you get your
Yeah, that's what I want to know.
Low level
piercing.
ear.
ear.
You get the ear done.
Yeah.
I could do that personally.
No, I don't want.
Would have to do outside of business hours, so it's not a
No, because I
workplace.
feel anywhere else would hurt. I don't know about eyebrow. Wouldn't do eyebrow.
Dude, I did my own. Well, I didn't. My mate did it.
Your
but
ear or eyebrow?
my ears, both of them, when we were young, iced it and used the stud to push it through. So
Disgusting.
it wasn't great, but it just comes out the other side. It literally makes a popping sound.
Something disgusting about I got my ears pierced when I was like 10. I went to the Endeavour Hills chemist.
Was that off your own back?
Oh, no, it was a trend. It was sort of the year 2000 or around then.
Yeah. Back
And,
back when it was young, I remember thinking very like the younger you are, the more bogan it is as a young boy.
Sure.
Like the young boys who were having it done.
Well, I must have been older than 10 then.
10's super young.
I must have been
dude.
12. Because
12's like grade 6. You're trying to sort of find yourself. Your
Yeah,
balls are
yeah.
slowly starting to drop down.
I have a feeling, but what I do remember is after getting it done, we would go to the Dandenong market to get earrings, and you just have to make sure that you really put a bunch of alcohol on them before you wore them.
Yeah. Yuck.
Wore them, but Nike ticks were huge.
Oh,
Did
yeah.
you have a Nike tick?
No. I just had studs and then diamonds
Diamonds.
that were fake. So
It's so pov, isn't it?
it's so shit. It's so dumb. So what do you reckon? Get your ear pierced next week, mate?
No.
No?
No.
Why not? How do you know? How do you know you won't like it?
Nah, I just don't want to stick a thing through my ear,
Oh, yeah.
and I don't want to wear earrings.
Alex,
or
what do you
ear-
think he should get done if he was to get something done?
What about nose?
Oh, not a nose.
Why not?
Can I look
Nah.
cute?
I think you would look kind of cute.
What about a?
Oh, no,
Oh.
no. He's describing like a pig sort of snout
Yeah.
thing.
Is that a septum?
Septum.
Yeah,
oh.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Your
it.
septum
No.
feels like shit goes wrong with septums.
Septum.
What do you
Ugh.
think?
Anyway, you can get a piercing on the head or tip of your penis, the foreskin,
Oh,
or the scrotum.
man, thanks for outlining your options for next week.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Hey.
which one are you choosing? If you had to.
Scrotum.
Really? Why is that? What is your rationale behind the scrote?
Less movement compared to everything else.
Okay.
Yeah, with
It's more stagnant. Otherwise, you can't go. Foreskin would move too much.
With
Yeah.
the
Why?
friction you have on it weekly.
So much movement.
It's it's crazy. Someone asked actually about how you are today.
Did they?
Just about your love life and stuff. So
Who
I
was
mean,
that? I'm trying to think.
it's Lisa, my friend. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's curious. So, any update?
No, not really.
That's
Any,
okay.
No, that's all good. I just wanted to thought 600, maybe big show. You could actually give it some sort of something more than no, not really.
Well, at the bushfire, I told Mr. 97 that I had somebody that
At the
I wanted to
relief
introduce.
bushfire.
Sorry, bushfire relief.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah, yeah.
but I had somebody I wanted to introduce him to, but I have showed him and I have talked him up, but she's a little bit worried about your age. So
Oh, really? How old is she?
25.
Okay.
How old are
5
you,
years.
Sev? 20.
20. Yeah.
My wife's 3 years older than me. 2 years.
Oh, I
2
don't know. I
years.
still talked him up, but she was like, "Oh, nah." I'm like, "You sure?"
Can you go back to her and say he has a scrotum ring? What do you reckon? And see what happens.
I wonder how much that would change your attitude getting a scrotum ring.
Real confidence.
Yeah.
Just
He all of a sudden gets a standing desk, only stands.
you need it for a little while.
I was actually thinking about moving the standing desk down here.
Really?
Yeah, but I don't know if it'll fit.
Yeah, it's actually surprising that you haven't gotten into standing sooner.
Because sitting's the new cancer.
Yes, that. But also,
I mean, cancer's cancer. Just
Yeah.
sitting. Yeah,
well, no, I think
you're
it's
not
I think it's
substituting
actually,
cancer for
I
sitting.
think what you actually meant is sitting is the new smoking,
Yeah, that's what
which
I meant.
causes cancer.
Yeah. Yeah, just one step removed.
Sitting, no, yeah. Cancer's the result of the thing, but I see the
We're not
connection
cancer
to
specialists. We don't know.
sitting. Ryan John's girlfriend is though.
Yeah,
Tumor
and she makes
specialist.
beautiful wine.
So I'm pretty hungry. I mean, it's sort of late in the afternoon here in Melbourne.
It is 5:39 p.m. Anyone on the live chat before we go to?
Yeah, we got a message from Grace. Love the new series, boys.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
The
Grace.
AK podcast. Cheers to 600 boys. Callum, happy 600.
Thank you.
And Joseph, happy 600.
Thanks, Joseph.
Thanks,
is that
legends.
all coming through YouTube?
YouTube, yeah.
because
Ah, nice.
Facebook has one.
Blage joined.
It's my
G'day,
one
Blush.
mate that I've got on Facebook.
Yeah,
Right,
Blush.
anyway. We're hungry.
Alex, you've done some baking as the show baker. Obviously, that's what you do. It's where you feel comfy.
Bit of a mare over the weekend, my oven broke. So as a baker, it's not what you want.
Wait, what sort of oven have you got? What sort of oven?
It's a fan force, so the fan just stopped working.
Uh-huh.
So it was
How
a bit of a
important is
faff.
the fan?
Very important. It's
Okay.
a fan force, yes. So it just doesn't work. So my dad's fixing it at the moment. So over the long weekend, I just got really annoyed, and I was like, I need to do something. So I made honeycomb. This
Yum.
is
Oh,
the one in the plastic bag that Tommy's holding is a mess, whereas the one in the other container is a little bit more
yeah.
nice.
How do you make honeycomb?
Basically, honeycomb is just 2 types of sugar and bicarb soda. And then the 27-degree weather and me waking up early, yeah, it's kind of a bit messy and it's a bit gross and sticky. But yeah, so it's kind of like,
That's better than crunchy.
Mate, that is really, really good. And the chocolate tip.
yeah. So the chocolate's like, fancy chocolate. I think it was like 60%
Oof.
chocolate. So I want to combat sweetness with the darkness. So, and then the cookies are
Yeah.
honeycomb cookies. So
Oh, bullshit.
they're a mess. That was my first batch, and they're really good. But that's why they're a mess, because they're just full of honeycomb and chocolate. So then I got my baking back, because then Mum and I, with the leftover honeycomb, we made honeycomb ice cream.
Oh,
So
yum. Do you have an ice cream machine?
My mum does, and so it's so easy. Like just a bit of sugar, eggs, milk, and then we just put in the churner, and then you put the honeycomb at the end, and yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Do you
Au naturel ice cream.
do you
Can
ever
you just sort of look at the couch right now? My wife's sitting there.
Mhm.
Bodie's lying with his head on her lap, and his feet are just on Alex.
just loving life?
Just
Love
first
it. Yeah,
time.
he really is loving life.
First time. Is that first time you've met Bodie, Alex?
Yes.
And look at him, comfy.
Okay.
Just super comfy.
Bodie, put your feet up a bit more. Enjoy yourself a little bit more. Do you want a cookie? Bodie, do you want a cookie? He's going to come over. Oh, we're going to cameo from my son.
Here we go. It's
This
like
is
being
great.
at the zoo.
Is it good?
Come over
Here
here.
we go. Okay, so sorry about the camera,
sorry,
everyone.
You
Do
never
you want to come
know.
up to sit on Daddy's lap? We pause that.
Anything for
Okay.
a cookie.
Now,
Do you want a bicky?
yeah.
Do you want a bicky? It's coming from me.
Tell hey, Bodie, can
Bodie,
you
that
tell
biscuit's...
can you-
Alex made it, but I've given you the biscuit. Do you like
can
it?
you tell everyone what Josh did before to you? What happened? What did he do?
What did I do?
What did he do?
What did I do?
Yeah.
What'd you do? What did I do? Did you make me cry?
It's looking at me.
I screamed at you.
Oh, there's actually a new. Bodie's come up with a new segment. Say it.
Telling on Josh.
Say it.
Here we go.
Say it. The baby talk show.
I know,
He's a real.
He's
Yeah.
not interested.
he's a real
he's-
rat today.
It's so annoying when they don't do the tricks that they
Yeah.
do.
It's
You know what he said, Bodie? Do you know what you said to me when I picked you up today? He said, "I'm so glad you're here, Daddy."
really,
Where's that
Aw.
cute shit for the camera?
yeah. And he said the baby talk show off air,
And he said, "The baby talk show."
and then you just want him to repeat it.
That's all I asked for. That's all. That's all we asked for.
Can you get angry at that stuff?
At him doing
Yeah,
that
if
kind
he's
of
just
shit.
yeah. When does he owe you something? Do you think? When do kids owe you something?
From
In
the
all
moment they
seriousness.
come out, they're just in debt to us.
So when do they start repaying the debt?
I mean,
Do
if
you
he
think
gets-
about that?
If
Do
he
you-
gets famous by 15 like Justin Bieber and starts making a lot of money,
Mhm.
so be it.
What do you
But,
think he'd become famous doing?
Parkour could be some sort of like adventure bike sport,
Mhm.
or I mean, he's a big bruiser, so it could be rugby.
Jackass? If Jackass became a thing, could you imagine?
I'd be cut.
Would you? You'd be
So
cut
would
if he
Bodie.
I'd be cut if he just
got
I mean,
into
no,
Jackass.
if he was on, if he was like Johnny Knoxville and had actually created a movement around this stunt thing.
so you
make
just don't want him
yourself-
to be Johnny Knoxville's mate that's getting paid part time.
What about all the Johnny Knoxvilles, all the wannabe stuntsters
They're
that,
dead.
that have just stapled their nuts to the, you
A lot
know,
of nut talk today, isn't there?
Yeah.
that's what Steve-O did a lot.
Mhm.
He did all that kind of stuff. But think about it. If you've never been paid for that, it's only good in when you start making money. You're like, well, I actually get paid to be a jackass
Well,
now.
Steve-O talks about going, doing VHS tapes or whatever, sending
Mm.
it to MTV and all the different networks.
Well, the closest thing is now people on YouTube jumping off roofs.
Prank
onto-
videos.
I mean, it is something like Amy and I, when we were watching Taylor's documentary.
How good is it, by the way?
It
We
is.
haven't spoken about it, have we? Like as in you and I?
Oh, just on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great, mate. We're gonna have that conversation now.
We don't
I
have
thought
to.
you did talk about.
We
No,
didn't.
but
No, we
off-
didn't have. What was the conversation?
Oh, we just talked a bunch about it. But Amy and I were saying, like, imagine that being your kid, like when she was so young, like becoming your job to just hang out with your kid. And
because there is a bit where they sort of go into Tay-Tay's house. Oh, sorry, Tay-Tay's parents' house.
Mm.
You're like, okay, well, Tay-Tay's clearly looked after them.
I said that. Amy said she's from a rich family.
Oh, really?
Look it up, rich family Taylor Swift, which I think takes away slightly from the narrative that you were forming around her. Because I did the exact same thing. Look at her; she's looked after her parents, and
But just no, she was just rich all along.
I mean,
But that doesn't take away from all the skill.
nah, I think that's a lot of people love to throw that out. Lana Del Rey is from a wealthy family, and they
Who is she?
huge,
Singer.
huge, yeah, chick from America.
Mm-hmm.
But she did it like she had a style, and then they completely rebranded her, and then she blew up as Lana Del Rey.
Well,
but they
that's
spent a lot of money, I think.
That's like Katy Perry. Like Katy Perry, I don't know. Like obviously her parents had a church and all that sort of thing. But she went through a bunch of rebrands before she finally sort of found her own voice. One thing I want to bring forward as a possibility of 2020, a rule that I want to put into place or something that I want to get going, I want to get rid of group messaging.
What do we do? When are we doing it?
Anytime I get a group message, it's annoying. So
This
for
is just with friends,
Mate,
or
we
everyone.
send them
who do I send group messages with?
our Slack.
oh,
That's
are you
you two.
talking? Are you talking
Well,
personal?
so for instance, Jem, Queen Gronk,
Yeah, yeah.
set up a great group message. I say great because we love Jem. And it was around getting out and about to a nightclub, which you'd mentioned. You talked about, I really want to go to this nightclub.
Yeah.
And so she creates a group with me, you, 97, Tully, and Pete. And everyone at the start's like, yeah, boys, let's get around it. This woof woof. Yeah. This is great. Anyway, then 2 weeks ago, I don't really say anything because I'm like, I'm just going to show up wherever it's. I don't need to be involved in the rah rah. Anyway, I then call Jem yesterday, and she's like, nice of you to call. And I was like, okay. And like you don't want to sound when someone's being like that, you don't want to sound defensive because you sound like a baby. You like sort of push back. I was like, oh, what? It's like, oh, and because I sort of knew, I was like, oh, I'm sure this is about the group chat. And she was like, oh, I just got ignored from all of you at the end with the group chat. Like you'd all seen it, and I was just sitting there, and I was like, I even sent a follow up. And so, and I said, well, like in all fairness, like clubbing isn't my thing. Like, is it really my job to be keeping the group message going? And she sort of believed that because I was involved, I should have at least said something.
I mean,
I don't want to be a part of that.
I think it's I think it's the same thing we've worked out.
But don't think you should have. You're the club guy.
But why? I never came up with the idea. I didn't create the fucking group message.
You
it's on
knew
the
the club-
onus. It's on the onus of the person who creates the group message if they want to keep it going.
But
Yeah,
she
and
said,
if-
hey
and
guys,
if
what are
you've
we
s-
doing? And no one
And
wrote
if
back.
you've worked out that everyone's vacated the room and left their name tags in
But
there,
is that potentially a
You-
little bit rude
from who?
from everyone in the group? Like if you start a group chat, you start talking and everyone just stops talking.
I think it's so common that this happens. I've been in heaps of group chats where it just fizzles out. Everyone's like over it. And you said the best is
The
WhatsApp
last message.
The WhatsApp. Old mates left the group. You see people actually exiting.
Are people cleaning up, like cleansing their group?
You can leave a group in WhatsApp, and I think it tells you, John's left the group. John, you're a fucking.
Well, Bree's old boss, not good with technology, actually worked at a company for 10 years.
That's a funny thing. Bree's old boss.
Why is it
Not
funny?
good,
'Cause
not
he's
good with
old.
technology.
Yeah, old boss in more ways than one. No, never. Her boss never had her own email address.
What?
Would use a company email address for everything. And when
And
Bree was
what would a company email address look like?
Paul at workplace.com.au.
Oh, Paul got an email.
It's calendars,
For what?
social media.
Okay, that's like, well, you better get the social media up. Did you turn that down?
And so,
Have we turned it down?
and
There you
so yeah, so but isn't that quite common? They use a workplace email or
But the boss had no other email address, no Gmail, no Hotmail. And so Bree had been saying for multiple years, she's like, what happens if you leave?
oh, they didn't own the company.
No, it's not her
Okay,
company.
Okay. That's a bit different. Like, because I've been stupidly using emails from other companies and then left them and then lost everything.
So, but this is what's happening. But that's all she
I
had.
know. I know.
And so she sends a WhatsApp to about 75 people, letting them know that she's finished. But she's just put the 75 people in this group. This
Oh,
is an
God.
executive that's just got like you look at the contacts, it's like, oh, I'm like, babe, if anything, this is just great contacts to have.
Can you see their names?
Yeah, you see the name.
Oh, that's amazing.
And then you're like, oh, great, Simone, that you're leaving. Just so you know, like everyone can see.
Did someone say that?
Yeah, and then you see like the group apology, like, oh, sorry, everyone. And it's like,
Oh no.
John leaves the conversation. Like, but it's a nightmare. Like think about the amount of people who have ruined their life or career based on misusing CC or thinking that they're just sending it to one person, but they send it to a whole
Yeah.
group and everyone's got the emails.
BCC is an absolute.
It's a bitch move.
It's so
It's a bitch carbon copy.
like really. When are we using a BCC? Hands up if you used a BCC in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, I've used a BCC.
Really?
Alexandra,
From what
Amy.
from our old
Turns out, imagine if Amy was a BCC queen.
yeah.
I think I've done it out of spite. Just be like,
That's the only reason you BCC people.
but not in the last 2 weeks. But
Yeah.
I think I've done it once or twice.
When we emailed our old accountant to say, hey, no longer need your services, BCC the new accountant. Real
That
bitch
is-
move. Can we just say? So I'm trying to.
funny.
If you haven't
I
noticed,
didn't do it, but I love it. I support that.
and then the new accountant, in a real bitch move, said, "Thanks, Josh, for doing." Like, sent me an email being like, "Hey, mate, glad it all got sorted." Some people might find something jarring that I've been saying lately.
What is it?
I've been using the B word, bitch, a lot.
Yeah.
Now, my view on the word bitch, I stopped using it for a decent portion of time.
And then you started hanging out with me.
Yeah, no, but
But we got
potentially-
called
you called
progressive
me
today.
A bitch before, no,
Of course.
woke.
We got
Which
called
is
woke.
sarcastic.
Which,
If someone says you're woke, I think they're taking the piss.
Yeah.
Potentially. But anyway, no. So my thing, you've called me a little bitch before.
I'll never use it towards women.
Yeah, and so that's the whole thing. I
I might have called Amy a bitch before.
really we
I
should.
love you, darling.
And so
Yeah,
the thing is
it was
that
just the moment I was.
it's
fired
like
up.
I
Sorry.
know my friend Cyan hates the word. Like I've heard someone say, even a woman calling another woman a bitch,
Mm.
Cyan not fucking happy about it, right? However, I feel that let's reframe the word. And so I'm actually using bitch to describe more masculine things as well.
Yeah.
So
That's it. I find it's got the best cut through.
yeah.
It
So
works the best.
what do you think, Sebs? Do you think I should retire or lean in on bitch?
It's got real cut through.
It does.
Yeah, keep it.
Yeah, keep
You're
it.
to be a bitch to say anything else. isn't
Yeah.
it?
As he readjusted his scrotum ring.
That's
This
it.
is no bitch move over here.
So,
And
but let me know what you think. Hi at thedailytalkshow.com.
yeah.
Are you triggered every time I say bitch?
I think if you follow like comedians online, they use it there's a lot that I listen to
Mhm.
that are using it very effectively
Mhm.
in moments, and it has and you're laughing about it. They're not just trying to insult somebody.
Yeah. Well, we've got a transcription tool. And so every time we do an episode, we get a word cloud.
Oh yeah, so you see what was the most common used or phrases that we use the
Yeah.
most.
Bitch.
Well, that was an
Well,
episode, right?
9 times.
9 times.
Well, I think
One
it picks it up so
Yeah, well, when you say it, it's got cut through.
Mhm.
Even for AI.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, whoever's sitting there doing the transcription just winces every time they say it.
Either way, there's words that will come and go over time.
But
Or
maybe I
600.
should retire it if you think it's inappropriate. If you think I've
But you try
mistaken
to-
my narrative.
Yeah.
If you think that my narrative around the word is incorrect, let me know.
Callum loves it.
Thanks,
he says
Callum.
it's good. It wakes me up.
Yeah, I think it does. It'd be a bit. You'd be a bitch if it didn't. You know?
You're still just trying to get them out.
Yeah.
Grace says I always get ignored in my group chats.
Really?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
common. It's common. You're doing. I mean,
Bitch move from your friend.
yeah. Grace, what's going on? Is it something you've said? Is it you trying to organise something that they don't want to be a part of? I mean, when do you get the message?
But do we?
No message is the message. Maybe.
Mm.
Not saying for you, Grace, but for
Well, I
Gemma.
just think that the problem is
But do you still want to be a part of it?
the group message. I'll be pissed if I'm not included. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'll mute them. No, I think in all seriousness, it'd make me feel more comfortable if we just don't have them.
I don't think that's. The thing is, it's actually out of our control, because if someone just decides to create a group message and invite you into it,
Jordan Michaelides created the group. TDTS lads.
first of all, there's a T.
Oh
It's
yeah,
the-
he did DT.
That's I think I just responded once, but yeah.
But I like the thing is I like it, but it's interesting because he's sort of I felt labelled. All of a sudden, it's like your group has been labelled.
There is a pressure. Conspiracy Jimmy has invited me to a group Telegram chat. It's just an encrypted messaging service, and
What are you guys sending each other?
Kanye West links. You know, funny Trump memes. I don't know, just random shit.
But
Cats.
he likes Conspiracy Jimmy likes Trump.
He likes a good Trump meme, likes a good Trump laugh. Anyway, he invited us with another guy, but I feel the pressure. He loves to keep it going. Send more Kanye West links. Send more Kanye conspiracies. You know?
What's a Kanye conspiracy?
Oh, it's not really a conspiracy. It's just his music that is being leaked.
Is him.
They reckon it's him. And he's got I think it stands up. It's Kanye's old music was signed to a different record label and now he's with a new one. So he might not be allowed to release it. And so he's leaking it.
Sure.
So then it's like, it's out there. It helps his brand. I mean,
Have you seen that Justin Bieber is going in an oxygen tank
For what?
for his
It's
mental
a
health?
hyperbaric chamber.
Oh, that's good. Is that meant to help with mental health?
Yeah. It was amazing. He goes in, he's depressed, he comes out, he's like, "Poof, poof, poof, I'm ready.
Really?
Yeah.
His body's got more oxygen,
Yeah.
feels better.
I thought it was so cool. It looks claustrophobic in there. But,
That's in his, it looks like he's in a bag.
yeah, it's a blue
His head's popping out
cylinder
the
type
top.
of thing. Yeah.
So his body's,
No, but he goes in, it seals it completely up.
oh, wow.
How are you getting the oxygen if your head's outside it?
There's oxygen outside. I thought it just could have been for his
That's a good
body and his
point.
limbs.
No, so
There's
it's
oxygen
full-
everywhere.
Yeah, I get it.
Unless you hold your breath. No
in the
oxygen.
moon, is there oxygen on the moon?
Absolutely not.
Is there any oxygen on the moon?
I don't think so. That's why they wear the masks with oxygen.
Is there any connection
Dude.
between oxygen and gravity?
The scary thing about the moon stuff is like, whether you believe it or not, it landing on the moon. What if you just sort of floated off? Have you seen Gravity
Yeah.
with Sandra
I saw
Bullock?
it at IMAX.
Oh my God, floating through the
Oh.
bloody atmosphere. That is scary.
Well, Sev's watched a film, 15 minutes. What is it called?
Oh, maybe Last Breath. It's
no.
it's so full on. So there's this diver and it's like real
Oh,
deep
no.
sea diving.
Him describing this is similar nature to these dreams, but go on.
No, but
There's super deep sea diving and they're going down there to like oil drills and stuff. They're doing like maintenance and repairs and stuff. And so he's got this one sort of cable that attaches him back up to the ship on the surface of the water. And he's like super, super deep. And there's super rough weather up the top and the boat's being pulled further and further away and it's tugging him below the water. And so they're like, oh, we're going to have to reel you in. And as they're reeling him in, he gets caught on the oil rig that he's fixing or repairing and it breaks his cable because there's too much tension. And so he's got no oxygen, no electricity, no comms or anything. And he's
It's
just,
pitch black.
it's pitch black. Yeah, no light, nothing. And so, he's
you
got
told me about it.
5 minutes of reserve oxygen, but then the people on the surface have no idea where he is, and they have to go down and rescue him.
I
And
know
he's
you. I know you told
Is
us.
that
so
on Netflix?
It's on Netflix. Yeah, it's great.
My-
Intense. They got original footage from all of it. It's amazing.
Yeah. When Amy was telling me about it, you feel it.
Oh,
like
yeah.
you feel the.
Do you
sort of-
need that?
Oh, I mean, it's a great moment in history that someone was able to survive that.
Yeah, is scary movies the equivalent of having a pet?
In
What?
what way?
So you have a pet when you can feed yourself. You've worked out, okay, I've worked out my showering, I've worked out all that sort of thing, I've worked out all my
It's mostly why
personal
you don't get a
admin.
pet. That's not thinking.
Well,
behind a
why
pet.
else would
That's
you
just
get a
being
pet?
alive as
Would-
an adult.
No, but my point
And you
is
get a
that
pet because you want a companion.
I thought the reason you get a pet is because like I can afford my own groceries. Now I'm going to buy groceries for an animal.
No wonder you don't want to have kids, dude. If you're looking at it like that,
You don't think that's how it is?
absolutely not.
Well, I feel like it's a stretch goal. It's like, okay, like I need a dependent, that type of thing. But anyway,
Sort of
so
love
it's similar,
something.
but so I see it as a little bit of the same thing, scary movies. It's or anxiety inducing. Like you don't have enough of your own problems.
Why do you
clearly.
need that shit in your life? Is that what you're saying?
No, well, I'm saying that people who gravitate to that potentially are like, okay, shit's pretty good at work. Wonder if anyone nearly died today and if they've made a doco on it.
Nah. All right, quick one to leave us. What would you rather? Be stranded?
Scrotum? No, sorry.
Be stranded on the moon, so the
Mhm.
spaceship takes off.
We don't
Gronk's
know
left
that.
you there.
What's the oxygen deal?
You've got 3 hours.
Callum's actually said the moon is a complete vacuum, Josh. Gravity is related to the mass of an object. So the more mass an object has, the more gravity it has. So no oxygen.
Mate, how smart are the Gronks? That was amazing.
Yeah.
Callum?
Callum's good on Google.
Jeez, yeah, he's copied and pasted it. Gronk move, he did.
I
But
appreciate
yeah, really appreciate it. 3 hours of oxygen left, and you're on the moon. You're stranded. No understanding of how you could get out of this.
Mhm.
3 hours underwater, pitch black. You don't know how you get out, but you've got oxygen for 3 hours. Which one are you choosing?
Moon.
Water.
What?
Definitely
Nah,
water.
nah,
No.
moon.
Why? You swim back up to the top. You got 3 hours of oxygen
don't
to
like
swim
water.
to the top.
But you're at the bottom. You're in a.
But I reckon 3 hours of swimming, you could get semi-far.
Okay, I'm going to switch it up because you tried to outsmart this one.
Okay.
Your boat, you've been snorkeling, and your boat has
Fiji?
driven off.
Where is it? Fiji?
There's a film about this too, where the boat, they drift, scuba diving, and then they're in the middle of the ocean. Someone survived a long time. I reckon there's a high chance you're not coming back from the ocean,
Mhm.
just being,
I
just
would
bobbing
hate
along,
that.
and you're you're in the water floating, but you know that you can't last forever, and so it's this sort of impending doom.
So it's would you rather death scenarios.
Yeah,
But they're
essentially.
both. You die in both.
Yeah.
Which one?
Moon.
Moon.
Yeah,
Imagine being the hero that
definitely-
died on the
nah,
moon.
yeah, definitely
Yeah.
the moon then.
Here's a death one for you very quickly. I don't want to outdo your one.
But you will
Good view on the moon as well.
if you can see if you're on the right spot.
Yeah.
Is that true?
Well, you got to be on the right spot.
Yeah.
Think about
if you're
that.
on the other side of the moon.
What's on the other side? Can you see shit?
It's
on
like
there?
it's like LA. LA's on the other side of where we are right now.
No, but what? Oh,
You know,
so it's all Earth. Though.
it's a big.
But, so my
it's a big
point is there
circle.
any section of the moon where you can't see the Earth?
Yeah, the
Definitely,
other side.
it'd be most of it, I reckon.
So
well,
what
think
are-
about.
what's
So we
there?
see that.
What's
That's a good
behind the
point. So
moon?
when you're on the moon,
But that's what your point was.
no, my point
Is that if you're on the other side, you see LA. If you're on the other side, you see.
no. On the
Melbourne.
other side, you wouldn't. There would be a time when you're not seeing down to Earth because it's a sphere.
And so
you're
what
on
do
the
you
other
see, I
side.
wonder.
Yeah, maybe you see fucking
The sun?
Uranus.
Find out, says. But so this is the would you rather, Tommy, that I'd like
Okay,
to
yeah,
ask you
okay, okay.
specifically.
Yeah.
You have one night left
Scrotum.
on this Earth. Good. One night left on
Yeah.
this Earth. Everyone is like, everyone's dead. You have to pick between one night hanging with Kanye or one night hanging with Taylor Swift.
Ah. And then everyone dies.
Mhm.
My wife just walked out of the room. Which one should I answer, boys? Kanye West. I'd like to.
Okay.
I'd like to.
What about you, Sebs?
And probably Tay Tay.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, but imagine if I said Taylor.
What?
Why? What's wrong with hanging out with Taylor?
I think that she would be. I think that Kanye would need to set up all electronic music to have time. Like it's just Tay Tay and her acoustic guitar.
I like his.
singing to
I
you.
like.
Little love story.
Yeah.
Who would I prefer? I'd prefer Kanye West singing to me with his music. 100%.
You would prefer.
Without
Absolutely.
auto-tune.
He's a good singer, dude.
You would. Chick-fil-A.
He's a rapper.
Before
I
you
love
die.
him. He's
Okay.
great. He's great.
Okay. So you would. So last night on Earth, you're hanging with Kanye.
That's out of the option of Taylor Swift and Kanye West. That's what I'll pick Kanye.
Miley Cyrus.
I'm
and
more
Kanye.
of a fan. Miley's out there, and I love the song. You
But
know,
can she play acoustic guitar?
she could. Yeah,
Yeah, she can.
definitely. Part in the USA. I'd go out to that. We're about to die. Last minute of the day, I'd die to that.
Mhm.
Don't mind that. Or die to Chick-fil-A. Kanye West song.
I appreciate
Anyway,
that.
that's
All
it.
right,
I mean,
anyone-
it's complicated.
Thank you, everyone, for watching and listening to the last 600 episodes.
Yeah, this has just been a bit of a fun one. We thank you, Alex, for baking some treats.
You're welcome.
I feel like I'm going to have to get some, what's it called when they fix your teeth?
Can I answer the last night?
What was
the
that?
last night on Earth question?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
One question. If I hang out with Kanye, can I hang out with the Kardashians or is it just
It's
Kanye?
just Kanye.
Just Kanye.
Yeah, nah, Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Mm.
There you go.
Yeah, no, I think that it's a good point. And you didn't ask that question.
No,
Well, I
'cause,
think it was fairly
everyone
clear.
tries to complicate these fucking would you rathers. Mr. 97. Yeah, but you could swim to the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you got to
Like, just
specify
answer it.
if it's a death, would you rather, or if there's a chance of survival, would you rather?
Look, I just left it out there.
And so, Sevs, what's happening?
Oh, well, okay. Well, so Sean says the moon doesn't rotate in relation to the Earth, so one side is always facing away. And Callum said you'd just be looking further out into space; you wouldn't see the Earth.
Have we got scientists just on our page?
Yeah, has the-
Grace says we should start a space club.
Yes. Astronomy.
Astronomy, yeah.
And a
Mm.
bit of astrology, just to mix things
Mixing
up.
two sciences.
Yeah.
Mm.
That's actually very funny. Right, it's the Daily Talk Show. If you haven't listened to Jason PJ, you should listen today because we're on at the start.
Oh, yeah. And if you want to listen to their episodes individually, just search Jace Hawkins, The Daily Talk Show, and it'll come up.
Oh yeah,
Or PJ Harding, The Daily Talk Show, and it'll come up too.
Mhm.
Two great
yeah
episodes.
great. All right.
They're awesome.
Tomorrow we're at Ventura IP.
Yeah.
Fat Fridays, baby.
And
I'm
can
pumped.
we announce what we're eating?
No, let's save it for the show. They are putting in and they've
It was
requested.
On the, it was on the tip of his
I
tongue.
was going to say we could announce.
No, but they've left a specific. They sent us a specific list of something we could order, and so Mr. 97 has done a bit of a. I'll order for you boys. I thought it'd be nice to just do
Is
a
it good to hold on?
surprise.
You're doing a lot of surprising and holding on. Is that a?
It's called fucking lead through to tomorrow.
Do you have any more
We have
drip
a
feeds
show-
for your adventure club?
Not today.
Okay.
There'll be one tomorrow. So tomorrow there's a lot coming.
Could we not at least do one today? Could we do like one adventure thing or the
There's no point.
the food thing today?
There's no point
Why no point?
because tomorrow's a new day. We do so many of these episodes. Come back tomorrow.
All right, okay, it's a Daily Talk Show. Hi at thedailytalkshow.com. Bitch. Should it be a thing?
Yay or nay?
Yay or nay on the bitch? Anything else says before we go?
Would you rather? Answer
Callum
those.
says, boys, is this going to be a common occurrence, the live streams? Feels like I have friends now.
Oh,
Cheers for all the
no.
great content. You guys are awesome.
He's actually coming from the moon. He's
Yeah,
actually
well-
he's live from the moon
Nah,
right
all the
now.
bottom of the ocean. 3 hours to go. No, he's coming back tomorrow. So
That's a
he's got-
Daily Talk Show. Have a good one, guys.
See you guys.
And now we'll just continue waving until the live streams end.
Oh, do you want me to end them?
We can end it.
Do you wanna
Hey
do-
guys, thanks for jumping on through YouTube.
Mhm. And
It's,
Facebook.
Yeah. It's all
Bye,
oh,
guys.
oh.
This is delicious.
Yeah, yeah.